Now I see.
Hey there, and welcome back to Talk About Topeka. And today we're going to talk about something just to maybe streamline things just a little bit for you. I know that a lot of people, they notice the TV show Talk About Topeka because obviously that's what was there first.
It's been on the air for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course you take a whole lot of pride in that.
It's great.
I was going to say you go right on ahead and do that.
Absolutely. And Max, and he's been working hard on this as well.
Yeah.
We don't get to see him so much, but
yes.
we love Max as well.
He was just in here a second ago, and then he leaves us alone in this place. But now we also have the radio show, which is on the Big Talker, KMAJ 1440. Yep. It's on in the mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. Kind of a big deal to be doing all of this. I will tell you once and for all that I really have nothing to do with this except that I come here and chat. But there is something big with the website because it's all kind of done together where people can get the podcast and the show. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I had this idea, and it is evolved out of, we needed to talk about, you can hear about it like we talked about with our sister about the Topeka newsletter forming and how this whole thing just grew. And it came to a need, I feel. There's obviously people have old media, new media. They're both very valuable. And when we want to get the word out about what's happening in Topeka, we want to be able to get it out to the widest audience possible. And we had the TV show going, and the folks from Cumulus came and asked me, their general manager said, we need to get some of this stuff, and we want to have some really good, positive Topeka on our networks, and we want to show that we support Topeka. We do love Topeka.
And really what we could say is that even in this world of new media, it isn't exactly feasible to have a radio station all talking about local things. It's really difficult to get people to do that, to get the money to do that. And so this makes it so much easier for people because it's really on demand.
Absolutely.
If you're driving in the car, you can listen to the show.
If you're watching us on TV, we're there for you.
And if you get there at work and you decide that you need to listen to something for the rest of the afternoon because you want to find out what's going on, in Topeka, you can find out all that information.
The key piece is you have to think about it not really as just one. It is old media versus new media, which is mixed together here, because it is. The content's available for you. You can listen to our show on the radio. Then that podcast is available right around lunchtime. That's so that you can listen to it at the gym or anywhere you want to listen to it at. So you can, it doesn't die. It stays there forever. You can go back and search this whenever our guests are on this show. It's history. We're almost making the history books. And what I found is this is really weird, and I've noticed a lot more people doing this in our stats online. We're noticing a lot of people going back and looking at our older stuff and our older footage. We're seeing a lot of those links coming up, and they're using it exactly as I wanted people, as a resource that is also a history book, because you can go there and find real life interviews with people that they may have done 2 years ago, and there's a little bit more information out there that's personal. And in this age of Facebook, Twitter, everything is personal. We want to be able to know as much about people as possible. So this is something that is there indefinitely.
And it's there for the taking.
Yeah.
It's free information. This is free stuff of things that are going on right here in our community, and it's worth sharing.
All you have to do is watch it. And the real goal, what I really, really want to see is I hope that people will see the content, and then people will share the content. If you're following us on Facebook or Twitter, you'll see those things released as they pop up, and we have direct links to it on our website, so you can just see it right there. So if we get people to share this content, not only are they sharing it in Topeka, but they have friends from all over the place. And what better way to tell people all over the world that we live in Topeka and we love Topeka. Give them a little taste of Topeka. That's why unless you don't want people to come here.
We don't want them to know that we're having so much fun.
If we want to keep it all to ourselves, but there's no reason. The people here are fantastic, and this job here to me has become a full-time job for me that we've got to pretty much make a whole new business for. And we need sponsors. We need product, we need to arrange interviews, we need to put all of that together, and it is a full-time job plus. But this is a job that I can do and not get any sleep. And the entire time I'm working on it, I'm happy because I love it.
Except you've been such a jerk because you haven't been that nice to me today. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. He got all passionate in that statement. No, I do think that's really important, that you do love, what you're doing. And it is important to be getting this information out to people because we want other people just to enjoy their surroundings. Remember when we were at the patron breakfast for the Mulvane Art Fair?
Yes, yeah.
And we talked with the guy from Bartlett West.
Yeah.
He's one of the owners that had just moved here. They said, we can't keep up with all of the things that are going on in Topeka. There's just so many things going on. And he goes, I don't understand how people say there's nothing going on because he's like, me and my wife, we are busy every
only
weekend.
People that say that really are the people who've never lived anywhere else. Because I am one of those. I speak as one of those people. But I was able to go travel and see the world. And when I did go travel, I would live as someone lived there. I wasn't necessarily interested in being a tourist to see. I want to feel how life was for them because I had an appreciation then for what life is like here and the things that are great. It doesn't cost $2.5 million for a little house that has 1.5 bedrooms.
What's so wonderful is we really do have a good economy.
It is a good economy.
There's a low, there's a high, low job rate, a low joblessness, low unemployment rate.
Yes,
you would know that
things.
as a business guy.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, but we do have a very good place to live, and it's easier to go out to a lot of things that we talk about that are free.
Yeah.
I
have a huge fear, and this is why there's so much passion and dedication to make this work. Because we're losing mom and pop businesses. We are losing them left and right. And people are not taking the chances because they're not seeing the positive examples. They're not seeing success stories. They're seeing chains pop up. They're seeing people cheer about something that is owned out of another
I know, you
place.
want to name that company.
I'm
exactly.
not going to, and those are necessary in this community, and I'm not bashing any of that. I do partake. I do my fair share of everything. I like to celebrate all Topeka, but really, the problem is that there's so much competition and the cards are stacked against people so much that we have to make a conscious effort in Topeka as the people who live here to support Topeka and to love Topeka in order for Topeka to grow. And there has been a big problem with that. And I'm starting to see the fact that we have come together. We're starting to work on projects together. It's the downtown project to me. I mean, you could sit there and say, well, he's got a business downtown, so it's great for that. Yeah, okay, I do have a business downtown, but I have everything on the line downtown. It's not
But you've
everything
also had
I have.
everything on the line for years before this ever was cool.
13 years I've been downtown. And
that's how old I am.
People, yeah, right? But people have, when I first opened up, people were like, oh, really, downtown? That's tough. And I think most people expected that I wouldn't last a few months, we would be gone. Luckily, we came up with something that we really needed in the area, and we were able to ride out the storm, and we rode out the collapse of 2008. We've had so many things that have hit this economy that have not come back to that point. And the only thing that's going to do that, we here have to fix Topeka from the inside out. We can't expect that the federal government's going to come in and do our work for us. We can't expect that the state is going to come in and do our work for us. We have to be the people in Topeka doing the work. We have to have the vision, we have to provide the motivation, and we have to tell people that we love our city. And I hope more people will join in that cause with us, because that's what makes us a great community.
And that's what we do with our money. Those are our votes. The things that we go out for and the things that we take time with, all of the things that we're doing, even going to museums, making a small donation wherever we can, that's our vote. And that's how we take care of these things. Let's kind of change gears a little bit, because I know that you did have to close your store.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Both stores, the Break Room and also Field of Green. So what happened? Was that because of construction?
Well, there were 2 Mondays in a row that were just torturous, and it's nobody's fault. We had where the wires came into our building. It's underground, and there's tubes that come in from the vaults. They come into the place. The wires are so old and frail that they combusted inside the tube. And the whole building was shut down and had funky power phase and
well,
really,
actually, we were recording in here one day,
we were
and
recording.
everything shut down, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I'm out.
Yeah. and thinking about that, it's like, oh my gosh, what do you got to do? And luckily, the folks from West Star came out. They did a spectacular job of fixing it, and the people who did it was wonderful. To think about that, and then to think that the next Monday, that morning, woke up and there was in the street, obviously there's construction going on in the street, but in the street was shooting up water right in front of our store from the cracks under the street. We have been shut down 3 times now because of water main breaks. And knowing that ever since when downtown started and the talk was happening about downtown, ever since that happened, there were so many people that said, oh, you believe this, you believe this. They never got into my head about what I really believed. And what I really believed was that we have got 100-year-old stuff underneath the street. Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing examples of coming in, milling and overlaying over top of all that stuff. Need I say 10th Street? Look at that, when that happened. And then the mains broke. So I was not able or willing to be one of those businesses that you close us down for the road construction, and you don't fix the stuff under the street so that you can close us down again to fix the stuff under the street as it continually keeps breaking because it's 100 years old. That was my biggest concern. And that's what I wanted people to take into consideration, because do it once, do it right.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's a good point. With all of this stuff that is going on, I thought it was going to be worse, and maybe it is going to get worse.
It has not been bad, and that's one of the things. I got really involved. Got on the board of Downtown Topeka Inc. because I wanted to represent, myself and my neighbors, and I'm honored to be able to do that. I'm also the chair of their dining and retail committee, so we hold meetings monthly and bring the merchants together, keep them updated about what's going on. That is a huge thing, to make sure that everybody is on the same page, that when there's going to be something happening. The city is doing an incredible job of communicating with that. Are there hiccups? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Do water mains get broken and your stores get closed? Absolutely. But this is something that is for the greater good, much better in the long run, because I don't want to put that road down, and I don't want to be responsible for putting that road down again, and putting that road down again, and then putting it down again because we've had 15 water main breaks underneath it. So I guess the final wrap up on that is that we had an electrical problem that was West Star's issue. We had a water main problem, which was, the water issue. All of that's going to be new, and we're so excited about that. And thank you to the taxpayers of Topeka for fixing that.
Okay, but also remember that not all that money is from taxpayers as well. We've got to keep that very clear.
Only the stuff that I ever thought would ever be on the hook, the infrastructure, that's really what I believed would be on the hook. We will talk a lot about this project, good and bad, when it happens. And we want to keep you updated on it, because this is really ultimately, after this comes down, it's going to be up to a place for all of us to enjoy. And have this for our community.
Okay, so I think what we're saying here is go to talkabouttopeka.com. You can find the podcast, you can find the show, and you can find, what else can you find? The newsletter, you can
everything. Just follow. Everything is available. Everything you hear and see through any medium is available for you to get involved with and share. And also tell your friends.
We totally love Topeka, and we just want you to love Topeka too.
Well, welcome to Talk About Topeka. We love local businesses here, and we've definitely got a large player in the local business field here in Topeka. We're talking with Jeff Winter of the Furniture Mall of Kansas.
The whole idea of the way that furniture is sold and done is different than the way, so you've had to adapt and change and do things a little differently just to be able to survive.
retail is different and is changing a lot. You know, it's truly a world market. Some of our furniture comes from all over the world, not just in the United States. And then retail in itself has changed also, you're right, through the internet and other big players, and sadly, fewer family businesses.
You know, you guys have become, you talk about anchor stores in Topeka. A lot of them are big name corporates, but you guys are an anchor store and you're local. You know, kind of discuss your opinion on things that are happening in Topeka and how do you guys feel to be a part of the Topeka community?
Well, we're very excited to be a part of Topeka. You know, that's where we chose to be, where we chose to open a store, where we choose to live. And I think it's a great place to live, and I don't think we get enough credit for that.
Yeah.
People talk about all the negatives, but I think there's a lot of positives to Topeka. I like to call it a big little town. You know, you can still go to the grocery store and see people that you know. And yet it's big enough that there's lots of things to be able to do and entertainment. I think it's a great place to raise a family.
Yeah, and just big enough if you want to disappear a little bit, you can.
You can.
But you still can't go shopping in your sweatpants.
No,
you
can't
will
do
get
that.
busted.
I won't do that, ever.
Now, online you can.
Yes, exactly. You can. Yeah, it's starting to get hot. It's kind of icky outside, and so you know, the tempers start to flare. So yes, that's what happens in the summertime, I'm assuming.
Not
Never
me. I'm
with me.
cool as a cucumber
Me too.
every day.
So when does the construction end?
Well, you're getting that upset already.
No, not at all. Actually, I think it's going pretty well.
It is going
it's
well.
rather smooth.
It is. It will end in November for this year's effort, and then start up next spring and finish the whole construction project next November. It'll all be finished. Brand new downtown at that point.
They're moving right along on that.
They are.
Lots of work being done every day. You can sit there and just, I can watch from out my window and I'm seeing, well, they're getting a lot done in a day. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just, it's not moving like a snail's pace. They got it down.
And I wondered, you know, they're digging deep, and
Yeah.
I wondered, are they finding anything that really is cool? Old coins, bottles.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa.
He said that to me in a text message the other day.
Jimmy Hoffa's down there somewhere.
Yeah.
I almost got my milkshake out my nose. But yeah, so there's so many cool and interesting and neat things that you can grasp from, you know, having construction.
Well, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we're able to find out some of that historical
That's
stuff,
right.
but then we're also able to, you know, turn a new page, if you will, you know, about doing something new and different with our downtown and trying to get people on board.
Well, yeah, hope we don't have to try to get them on board. It's an exciting time, and when this is all said and done, downtown is really going to be the place that people will come at night and on the weekend, and it'll be a gathering place, but it will look different, it will feel different, and yeah, it'll be pretty neat.
10 years ago, if we would have been on the air talking about art in Topeka, and I would have had a straight face and I would have looked into the cameras and said, Topeka is a great arts town. I know there would be people sitting there chuckling. That was 10 years ago. And now, those people are not chuckling, they're cheering. You know, that's what the crowd does now. We've got something that's really to be really proud of here, and downtown is a crucial piece to that. It's all tied into this district of how this works.
Well, what's so great too about DTI, Downtown Topeka Inc., is that you do so many great activities. You just got done doing your second annual Tap That Your Beer Festival. That was so cool. But you're also doing a bunch. You have cruise nights. You have Touch a Truck that turned out to be such a big one, and the Tower Run.
Yeah, we have something going on every week. And the Touch a Truck is going to be really fun. We did it for the first time last year.
It was a blast.
And you know, we bring in all these big trucks so kids and families can come and see them in person, climb on them. Some of the kids can honk the horns or toot the whistle on some of them. Put a big pile of sand in the middle of the street so the kids can
what
play
that'll
on
do?
it. But it's become even bigger, and we're getting some really amazing trucks and vehicles that will be there over the Labor Day weekend on that Saturday. But big cruise event around the Capitol on the 9th of August. We have Wednesday events up and down the avenue, musicians. We have a First Friday concert on 8th Street. There's always something going on, and people seem to really be enjoying them.
And today we have a great thing that's coming up at Educational Credit Union that we're super excited about. We have Jennifer Kermis here with us. How are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
Good, very good. Now I've been, I guess I couldn't say lifelong, but for the amount that I've actually had money, I've been in education, and believe me, I've got a lot of money.
So about 6 months then?
You should know me.
Well,
I have
it's well
so much money in
guarded.
there. No, I really don't. But anyway, so I have been a fan of Educational Credit Union, and I do know that when I go and check my statements and all that kind of stuff, there's always the banner, up that has all the information that's going on, good ways for kids to learn how to save and all of that. But this is kind of meant to go help people on the business side.
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about this.
Well, Educational Credit Union's always been really involved in the community. We're getting ready to celebrate 75 years this November. And we've always wanted to be a resource in the community through financial literacy. We really felt that this was a way for us to be different, to set ourselves apart and really be a partner with businesses in the community. So we have a 3-part series coming up starting July 10th with Martha Pylan. She's going to be teaching us marketing skills at low cost. And then July 17th, we have Rich Drinan coming in for leadership and communication. And then July 31st, we have Rick Lejeune coming in to be teaching about how to maximize profitability.
So you're really teaching people how to get in there, and to sink your teeth into the business world rather than get in there and be like, what is going on
It's like
here?
swimming lessons.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's just called swimming lessons.
That's right. Sink or swim. Really, we just want to be a partner with the businesses and really for them to be able to know when they need to shift gears, how they need to be flexible, what they need to be looking for, and really just to help them succeed and make Topeka become a better community. It's already a great community as it is, but I know we have more to come with helping small businesses within the community. This is something that we're going to be continuing to do for our not only members but non-members also, because we really feel that it's important to be part of the educational community.
We have a Ramp It Up skateboard culture in Native America that is coming up. Tell us about this cool event.
So basically, like you said, it's an exhibit. It's in the Alcee Sabatini Gallery at the library. And it has 2 main components of it. First, it has this art gallery political commentary depiction by Bunky Echo Hawk. He's an activist and a Native American. And
She's not even looking at her paper. She just ripped it. That's awesome. Okay, go.
I did my research. Yes. So basically, this first portion of the exhibit is a bunch of art pieces that talk about representation of Native American society, both by Native Americans and how non-Native Americans perceive Native American culture, and sort of the stereotypes that skew it and make it misleading and wrongly depicted by culture.
Now I know this is a Smithsonian thing. So explain how that works. Why is this important? Why should we be studying this and learning about this?
Well, of course, in Washington, D.C., they have the Museum of the Native American Indigenous.
They have a really good cafeteria downstairs.
Leave it
So
to
good,
Jamie.
so good. So you check out the important things. When you go to Washington, D.C., she can tell you all about the
All
cafes.
about the food, man.